Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a Mike Mendazzling edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Spooky. Monster Party. Oh, it's spooky.
Trick or treat.
It's tricks and it's treats. It's costumes.
I want candy.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, this is our favorite holiday, or at least mine.
It's a favorite time of year.
Yeah. And it's always a lot of fun. It's always festive. And so we are going to mirror the festiveness of this holiday with this episode.
And speaking of festivities and festive stuff, who are you, sir?
I am Matt Weinhold.
I am SHAWN Sheridan.
I am Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
And for this episode, were you just dazzled by James's diction? Or?
His energy, his enthusiasm. Let's go Halloween.
You know, Larry, sometimes I think you amp up your introduction to make me look less energetic.
Yeah, it's like it's the foil to your enthusiasm.
I think it's by design. Yes.
No, we're going to switch this around. Okay. So now you're going to follow Sean. Okay. Let's try it again.
No, we're not changing.
We're not going to redo the intro.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. No, do it right now. Come on.
No,
I'm Matt Weinhold. I'm Matt Weinhold.
Larry, you have to admit that sometimes when you introduce things, it's like you're trying to speak to a deaf foreign baby. It is very big.
Yeah, I will say this. This is all great, and we could take this offline. But why do you say we get back to what this show is about?
I agree. Yes, I would love that so much. So everyone right now is probably having a party, or they're trick-or-treating, or they're doing something to celebrate Halloween. And so that's what we're doing. We're taking all of those elements, and we're putting them into this audio format, and we're calling it the Monster Party Halloween Hootenanny.
Halloween Hootenanny.
Halloween Hootenanny. Yeah, it's fun. And as we can tell, James is very excited about the whole, event.
He's on fire.
He's on fire. Kidding? He's ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
As we all are.
But, what would a party be? What would a Hootenanny be without guests, right?
Yes, absolutely. We need a fun guest.
Yes.
And a guest who knows about monsters and Halloween hootenannies.
Oh my, yes. Right. Not only a fan, but a creator. Our guest for this hootenanny is not only a longtime friend of the show, but an absurdly talented filmmaker and actor. Yes, let's not forget that. Who has lent his talents to such classics as The Grave Dancers, great movie. Big Ass Spider, personal favorite. Tales of Halloween, Stand Against Evil, that's where I met him. And the recent film Satanic Hispanics. Please welcome back the always marvelous Mike Mendez.
Mike Mendez!
Welcome.
I was inspired by your Crypt Keeper voice you were doing, Matt, so now I feel we need dueling Crypt Keepers.
It's on.
The Hootenanny, after all.
Well, Mike, thanks for being with us, buddy.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Of course. How could I miss a Halloween Hootenanny with you guys?
Of course, right?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but we've been wanting to have you back.
You get horror movies, you get like bickering dysfunction. I love it. It's my favorite show.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Capital D on the dysfunction. Yes.
But that's what sets it apart. You don't want shows to go smoothly and everybody to get along.
That's right. No.
Where's the fun in that?
But Mike, Mike, I'm so glad.
Yeah, Mike. But
us. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say like the show is kind of like when you go to like those fairs where you go on like the zipper or something, and the zipper feels like it might break apart at any time.
But you still have a good time, right?
Sure,
things can break at any second.
You may lose an arm or leg, but hey,
it's like one of those.
That's the excitement. That's the
like
that's
a rickety
the joy
old wooden roller coaster from the 1940s.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes.
Coney Island.
Yes.
Most likely you'll be fine, but it may kill.
But-
someone, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's like the podcast is the ride, and we're all the drunk carnies.
So it's a pleasure to be back. It's a joy to be back.
We love you, and we're so happy to have you. We're so happy you could make it, and it's almost like
holy day.
But it feels like sometimes like you're a member because we see you at all these shows, and it's like when you come in, it's like no time has passed.
Monsterpalooza always. It's always a stop. I must stop by the Monster Party table. It's important. So yeah.
So Mike, what do you traditionally do for Halloween when you're with your loved ones and you're celebrating the season? What are some of the things that you traditionally do?
I think you guys are like myself that Halloween starts about September 7th.
Right?
Yes.
And it ends somewhere around November 3rd. Actually, by Halloween, I'm usually happy that it's there. But oh my God, this has been the craziest Halloween ever. I mean, this has been nuts. I have like a marathon I have going on here. I don't mean to do it. I just love Halloween so much, and there's so many events and there's so many things that you just feel bad saying to. You know, it starts largely in Los Angeles, at least here with Beyond Fest, which is a wonderful festival that has incredible premieres. Like I went to see the Toxic Avenger. I went to see the new VHS movie. I saw a wonderful movie called When Evil Lurks, which was great.
Oh yeah.
That's fantastic. It'll be on IFC, I think, next week, in time for Halloween. And he is one of the Satanic Hispanics, by the way, the director of that film. And then then you kind of start rolling into the kind of theme park stuff. So Not Scary Farm, of course, is a must do for those kind of by Newberry Park or Moore Park. There's Thousand Oaks. There's Reign of Terror, which is excellent, always fantastic. I just did Universal Horror Nights the other night, but we have something called the Vampire Circus still to come. There's Halloween parties. I'm going to die before November, but it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful.
You brought up Knott's Berry Farm, and I just want to say, if you really want to be frightened, go to Knott's Berry Farm in the daytime and just walk around the park, because that place is frightening. It is one. Talk about like drunk carnies. I don't know when any of that has been repaired since they opened, but
the mine ride, Matt.
I think it's quite they do it's pretty together, at least by the time Not Scary Farm happens. They usually have their stuff pretty down. So
that keeps them going, right? I mean, that's like what keeps them in business.
So that's got to be their big event for the year,
right?
For sure, yeah. And I personally like it more than Universal Horror Nights. Universal has the IP. They have the Walking Dead or whatever, or Stranger Things or Last of Us and things like that. But I think Knott's brings it with imagination, and they're celebrating their 50th Not Scary Farm this year. So that's
wow, their 50th, Matt.
Wow.
Yeah, totally. I've been going since at least let's put it this way. What I tell people is the first time I went to the Elvira show where they had a new up-and-comer named Weird Al Yankovic, who was doing his new song Like a Surgeon.
Ooh. Wow.
How long I've been going to Not Scary Farm. So
wow.
That's cool.
Years, but I'm like, about 40 at least that I've been familiar with it, or at least aware of it. So
right.
Anyway.
Here's my beef though with some of those mazes, and I don't know. I've never been to Not Scary Farm. I've done Universal. What? I haven't. No.
Okay.
Because I've always been a little frightened of Knott's Berry Farm. I've been there over the years, and it always felt like it wasn't finished, or a lot of the employees hadn't showed up yet. You know, but
I think you should give it a shot. The Not Scary Farm. I think you'd enjoy it. I think it's a little less crowded, a little less expensive, and I think the quality is really excellent.
Here's the thing, though. I get a little tired of there's a difference between being scared and being startled. And when I go to those places, it's usually more startling than scaring. It's like someone's going to jump out at me. They're going to run up to me with a coffee can full of dried beans and go, you know, and that's just not fair. That's That's like somebody. That's like a maze where somebody walks me over to the edge of the street and almost pushes me into traffic and goes, "Saved your life." You're like that kind of thing.
Right. Look, it's difficult when you're an old horror veteran like all of us that have seen it all and gone through so many things like this.
Right.
That it's hard. It's hard to, it's very hard to, especially something like Universal or Not Scary Farm, to startle or scare me, because I'm just looking at the production design. I'm looking for what cool, figures they have in here. What did they do to the room or whatever? You're not going to get me. But there are, certain more extreme haunts that will scare you. But the thing is that the moment I try to convince people to go to that, I lose them because they don't want to be that scared, because there are some that might hurt a little bit.
Hurt? Wait, whoa, hurt?
Who wants to go to that?
There's one called
I want to get hurt.
The one called 17th Door near Not Scary Farm. It's in Buena Park, and that one involves electric shock. It involves pellets. It involves some mild suffocation.
Yeah. Oh, count me in.
Absolutely. But that's the thing, is everyone's like, no, immediately go, no. But it's like, well, you said you wanted to be scared.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Once you've been tased, in a maze, and you've been an electric shock, you will be scared for the rest of the night. Now when you see those things coming, you will run. You will run in a way that you have never run in a maze before, and that's kind of exciting.
That's crazy. I've heard of ones where they get the actors will come right up to him or actually touch you and grab you. Normal ones you can't do that. You can't have the zombie or monster actors actually make contact with you. But I've heard of some attractions where they go that far. They grab you and
Okay, Mike. Okay, here's a question for you. So when you do this scary one, when they tase you stuff, when you go in, do you have to sign a release?
I'm sure.
Good point.
Yeah.
100%.
You see, Mike, I spend most of my time not getting tased. I don't want to get tased. And what?
I know.
Hey, I want to go to this Halloween thing where I get tased and suffocating. That's so great. I mean, come on. Really?
When you've done 1,000 mazes, you're kind of excited. It's kind of fun to do something that's a little different, that doesn't feel quite safe.
Right.
It is safe. That's the thing. They don't want to kill you. They want you to come back every year. It's not like this is a business model. Let's harm the guests.
Well, you're a little messed up.
It's the illusion of danger.
That's a little messed up.
I gotta say,
of danger. And they do have to maybe hurt you a little bit to give you that, to give you the fear of that this could happen to you again. I only got tased once. It wasn't so bad, but
Did you ever have you ever done Urban Death at Zombie Joe's? The last time we went, Urban Death. You've never been there, Sean?
No.
It's Zombie Joe's Theater, and they do these little vignettes where they're horror vignettes, and it's you're in, you're out. They're 30 seconds, and they're just creepy and weird. And the last one I went to was around Halloween, and it was not only the show, but it was also they had set up a maze, and the maze did have shocks in it. And so if you touched a wall, you'd get, and it wasn't too much, but you felt it. You definitely felt it. And I'm trying to remember if I did sign a release, but I have to say I did like it.
Because it throws you off, right? It feels now you feel a little unsafe, And again, it's hard to get that thrill because the rest of it is so contained and so safe that it is kind of nice. There's a crazy thing that also happens. We did a car stunt. We were inside a car stunt. There's a part where we visit. It's a long story, but we visited a meth lab in the maze or whatever, and you have to rush back to a van. No, not a real one. It's run by clowns. Anyway, you have to run back into a van, and they had told you when you say brace yourself, you have to put your arms up at the top of the van. And we get in there, and they hit the accelerator, and this ramp comes up, and they go brace yourselves. And I'm totally thinking it's a fake out, it's Universal Studios, and the ramp's going to go down at the last second. But no, this is 17th. Hit that ramp and went flying.
Wow!
Wow!
And again, that's not going to happen to you at Knott's. So that's not going to happen to you.
Wow.
You know, call me old fashioned. I'm just like your regular Joe kind of guy where, it's like the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. You're in your little car and you go through and you see the spooky things and you go, ooh, oh,
Right.
oh. And, but you're still safe in that little car. And I've been to these maze things where, you walk through and you see little scenes or whatever, and it's scary and
Right,
people
sure.
kind of jump out and stuff, but no one's going to like tase you. I mean, I don't know who's listening to this show going, wow, that sounds great. I want to get tased.
But for the hardcore, want to go to the next level. I mean, why not have that option for people to do?
I am intrigued.
Roller coaster.
Yeah,
it's like a roller coaster.
James, what about you? Does this sound like some?
Well, no, it just occurred to me that if Eli Roth were going to design one of these things and market it with his name, I think it would do really well.
Yeah,
See, no, I don't.
It's like the levels of horror films. Like you can watch a nice, spooky, subtle Val Lewton movie, or you can go see a Dario Argento film or something for the more. It's just whatever you're into.
Yes, but Sean, I'm sitting in my chair watching the Dario Argento. I feel safe and wrapped in my little blanket with my popcorn.
But that's
watching
like kind of your life in general, is wrapped in a blanket.
They have the haunted hayride, and they have the safe ones that you won't get grabbed. So go to those. But for those that maybe just want something a little different, that like being in a mechanical room that spins 360 degrees, that's surprising.
Wow,
that is something you won't see.
Mike, we should start one. Like we should do our own maze and get one, because I got some ideas. What about something in the middle where it's just like you go into this maze and it's just people nagging you? It's real horror.
Why do I need that? Why do I need that?
Here's your gas bill and electric bill.
Property tax.
See, that's too close. No, Sean, come on, really?
Okay,
that's horrible.
How about this?
I mean, and listeners, don't be bullied by these guys saying, "Oh, you haven't lived yet unless you've done this." That's just ridiculous.
True. No, you are right.
No, it's not.
Well, how about this one then? What if we get somebody, blindfold them, and we tell them they're going to be in a maze, and we just drop them off in a really bad neighborhood? And
okay, again,
that is terrifying. That is
with a GoPro on them, so they can.
I like it.
See, now we have Mr. Reality Television, Mr. Reality TV chiming in.
We can just do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So, but that guy has to sign a release, right, Sean?
Sure. Of course.
They all do.
And they will. They will. Right?
Yeah.
They will.
Yes.
Especially if you put a camera on
everybody
it.
wants to be on TV.
Yeah.
I will say this on kind of a side note. One of the attorneys for Naked and Afraid I know pretty well, and I was talking to him. I had a meeting with him, and he said, "Oh man, this season," and I go, "Do you have to pay people?" Because Larry, we get people who are willing to pay us to have this horrible opportunity. I went, "You've got to be crazy!" And to go out and do that miserable stuff when you're out in the wilderness and you got to cut things and you're nude and you're cold.
Way.
Yeah. But so it's like it's funny you and Sean bring this thing up about, you know what? I know people would want to do it.
Sure.
And you guys could make a real.
There's a real extreme one. I forget where they moved because they keep getting shut down. But there's a real extreme one called McCamey Manor, and there's a documentary on Hulu about it right now.
Yeah, my daughter told me about this.
Yeah, that's for the really twisted that are like, oh, let's get waterboarded. That's a whole other level.
What's it called?
McCamey Manor. I forget what the name on Hulu.
There's a documentary on it, and it is really messed up, and it messes people up. Yeah, that was messed up. And I don't know why. What would possess you to do that? Why would you?
Most of them, so they claim they were like war vets and they need such an extreme rush that that only something like that will do. To each their own. I don't know, but that's a whole different level. This is one step above Knott's,
right?
Just not with some gags and a better sense to really scare you and throw you off. So lots of great things I recommend for you, Larry. Delusion, perhaps. Delusion is an interactive play that is in Pomona, and that one's got lots of special effects and stunts, and it's a story that you're involved in, and that no one will zap you. It's a much, much
Mike, I don't want to be involved in the store. I want the art to flow over me. No, I want to sit
flow
there
all over you.
I do.
Might I recommend television for you?
There you go.
No, it's like
programs you can watch of your choice. And then
James, back me up here. It's like Haunted Mansion. You go on. You're in like a little thing, and it goes around, and you see.
It's a classic dark ride experience, type thing. It's a nostalgia thing for a simpler time, a safer time, perhaps.
Yeah.
Why are we all shitting on the Haunted Mansion? What's wrong with
First of all, no one has done that. No one has done that.
Only in your delusional mind are we doing.
So I guess the treat for Halloween is lies. That's what we're getting from you.
Right.
I'm sure our listeners have really enjoyed this intense discussion.
Until you started getting on the Haunted Mansion.
No, but what do you say we switch it up and talk about?
Hey, Topic Sheriff is here. I've decided I don't care anymore about this topic. Let's move on to something else.
Really quickly.
What do you want to say, Larry?
Mike made a comment, and it made me. He said, hey, like me, I'm sure you guys start celebrating around September 7th. And Mike, I want to say, there's a key. There's a key when you go to the grocery store. And you see that Oreo cookie has come up with their Halloween Oreo cookie. And it's an Oreo cookie with an orange filling. And it's like I buy several of those because I love it. I'm sure the frosting's the same kind. It's just a different color. But there's something about it that makes it so special. And then and then get this. So I eat the cookies through September, and then I get to October 12th. Okay.
And then you go on a diet.
No, Sean, I go back to the store to go, well, maybe I get a few more packs. And they're gone. They're all gone. And you know what's there, Mike? You know what's there? The cocoa ones. The cocoa and the peppermint. I'm like, are you kidding? We're not even through October yet. You can't do the Christmas ones.
Well, that's the thing about, I don't know when it started, how many years ago where it became October, the month of October became celebrating Halloween. Remember before it was like a week before Halloween, you start seeing the stuff. Now you're right. In September, you start seeing decorations.
It's earlier. Yeah. Every year. I don't mind, but what Larry's saying is true that it also brings the other holidays sooner so that you start getting your Thanksgiving stuff.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah. Right.
But Mike, since we have, I wanted to ask you about a particular candy. I know my fellow co-hosts here are not fans, but there's something really special, a very special Halloween candy that I remember as a kid that I saw at the local Ben Franklin, and it's the Brock's little mellow pumpkins. They're the mellow creams. It's all orange, has a little green stem. And you remember, guys, I gave you guys one, and you're all like, God.
Well, aren't they? They're kind of like. They're kind of like candy corn, but with cream in it, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
No, they're just butterscotch and the caramel.
They're not butterscotch.
No, those are the only two I remember of Brock's. Those are the only two.
Okay.
Brock.
By the way, Larry, this is great. I'm so happy that you changed the subject from tasing to now talking about the buttercream. What is it?
It's Halloween
Wobegon days. What's?
I wanted to ask Mike.
When I used to go to the drugstore, they had the pumpkin cream. And remember the orange Oreos?
See, okay,
it was like they were tasing my palate.
Yeah, that's right. See, I wanted to find out what Mike liked as a kid.
I want to know
what costumes he dressed up as a kid.
True.
We're going to costumes
I'm just saying, I wanted to find out about Mike. Mike is our guest. I know you want to make it all about you.
Look,
I get
it. It's reminding me of like my parents fighting. I love it.
If we could let Mike get a word in here.
Yeah, maybe do that.
No, you guys go. It's good. It's good.
Mike, Mike, no. We will find out what your favorite candy is. And it better be from the 1930s.
So when you were a kid,
I'm and still to this day, I'm all about the Nestle Crunch, Twix, and M&Ms.
Okay.
I am a terrible American that am not really into the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, which is the number 1 Halloween candy voted.
No, you're not a bad American.
And no disrespect to those who love that. That's fine.
Nothing wrong with it.
No, nothing wrong.
I am a Crunch Bar kid through and through. So
Okay.
Oh, I love those Crunch bars.
Yeah, totally. I'm trying to think what else. Twix, Kit Kat. Can't go wrong with that.
Sure.
Snickers? Your standard Snickers?
All right, yeah. I mean, that's definitely after all the Crunch Bars, Hershey Bars, Twix, and Kit Kats are gone. I move on to the Snickers. But it is above the Milky Way.
Do you like the
Three Musketeers is last. Three Musketeers.
Okay.
Is when,
Yeah.
do you like the plain Hershey's or the ones with almonds?
I think the plain. Not so big on the special dark, but the plain one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
No, not the dark. No.
What about Mr.
I like the
Goodbar?
dark.
What? Yeah, I know James likes the dark chocolate.
You like dark chocolate, James.
I like dark. Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
You like it more than milk chocolate.
Yep.
Interesting.
And a crackle will do if a Crunch Bar is not available. It's still, you feel like,
Yeah.
I like a crackle. I like
Mr. Goodbar over crackle though.
Yeah.
And that's Mr. Goodbar is like a
That's the crushed peanuts.
Peanuts.
crushed
Yeah.
peanuts.
Peanuts.
Okay,
It's good.
got it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I could go
I
for
like all
Mr.
of those.
Goodbar.
But it seems to me like, Mike, you prefer the crunch to say a caramel.
I like the chocolate mainly more than say a pixie stick or a nerd or anything like that, or Skittles. Yeah, I definitely like the candy bar much more. But for me, the challenge, I like a sugar addict, and I it is like a drug to me. I try not to do it very often because I lose control. So the trick for me is how close to Halloween I can hold off before I buy a bag of candy.
Right. Sure.
I haven't done it yet because I think it's going to be the 27th or 28th.
Well, that's pretty good.
No, that's good.
Friday or Saturday, because once it starts, it doesn't stop until Halloween, and then it's like just and I find them like crack. I get a bunch to give out for Halloween for kids, but it always ends up I find myself doing something else and turn off all the lights and eat all the candy myself.
Well, that's
you turn off the lights and eat the candy yourself. Mike,
There's nothing wrong with shaming.
No, that's not cool, man. Come on,
that's not true. I go out. I go out and eat the candy while the lights are.
What's that like? Hey, everybody, I'm eating candy.
See, Mike, here's where you're wrong, man.
Oh, you got to be wrong. You got to be wrong, Mike.
You have to remember when you were a kid, a plucky little kid going to each door and saying trick or treat. That was a special moment in your life.
100%.
And what's important to you is now as a big name director like you are, you should give all those little kids their special moments. It's your job to stay at that door, let these kids ring the doorbell and say trick or treat, and then you go here.
I usually end up going to somebody else's house who's giving out candy, and I give out candy vicariously through them.
Sure.
Everywhere.
You give out candy vicariously through, like what? You watch it? Or you actually participate?
I watch it happen. I watch
you don't
it.
participate?
I'll tell you. Not really. I'll tell you exactly what I did last Halloween, and you tell me if I should have stayed home and give out candy.
Let me hear.
So this is Los Angeles. There's a lot of wonderful people and amazing things that happen on Halloween night. The greatest makeup artist of our time, Rick Baker, has a special thing at his house where he's retired, but he will do a makeup for him and his entire family. One year it was Joker's, one year it was Mary.
Wow.
And they do a little presentation at their house where they give out candy. One year they were the Nazi werewolves from American Werewolf in London, and they had like, a machine gun throwing out candy. So this last year, I don't know if they're doing it this year, to be honest, but they had a special thing that you had to line up. And I don't know if you guys remember Bob Burns, if you know who he is.
Of course,
yeah.
We were at his place, yeah.
Right. So Bob Burns used to do the absolutely legendary thing that was the whole like presentation and show. I was lucky to go to one of them. He did one of them in the last like 20 years. He did the thing, and I went to that too. Yeah, which was great. So Rick doesn't quite go to that level, but he's very much inspired by that idea. So, he does the makeup, he does a presentation, he built a crypt in his driveway. And,
nice.
I was like, Well, I could stay home and give out candy, or I could watch Rick Baker give out candy to the neighborhood and the
That's awesome.
You know,
yeah, that's
so,
awesome.
so so it's usually something more exciting happens. This year, I am going to a friend's house. We are giving out candy and watching horror movies, and it will be a lovely.
Perfect.
Lovely
But isn't it like always like it's a trick when you're as an adult giving out candy? How much do you buy? Because you don't know how many kids are going to come by, or if it's going to be a lot or too little. So do you buy it? Because if you have too much candy left over, you're going to end up eating it. Let's face it.
Of course.
Yeah. So you should buy candy that you like. Yeah, because you know there's going to be left over, and then you can eat it.
Yeah.
And fuck the fun size. Because what do we know about the fun size? No fun at all. It's made for a child because it looks huge to a kid, right?
Right.
And so if I want to, go back to my childhood, I buy the full size. And that way it's like a little kid looking at the fun size. And I just fill a bag full of that. And then, when I finally pass out from the sugar high, I just wake up, in the driveway, and it's like another year until the next Halloween.
Well, what's fun about the fun size, it's like little candy crack, is that you get a bunch of them, it's not like
That's
full
true.
one and feel like, you can keep going, and you kind of like lose track of how many you should eat.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And you just keep going, or at least I do. So I think the
Right.
full size ones, I think I would get sick early on in the evening, and then it would be no
True.
fun.
So what if you don't want kids to come to your house? And so I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this, and I've been thinking like, what would be the type of treats that I would give out to keep the kids? Like, I become a legend in the neighborhood. Like, don't go to that house because you're going to get. And I'd start with those dried fish treats from the Asian market.
Okay.
I do that, and then I just experiment every year, like a can of smoked oysters, Listerine strips.
Yeah, you see, it sounds funny. It sounds funny, but it's really cruel and mean, which is getting down to the core nature of who you are.
Well, that's true, but
it's like, no, if
I would also get them ready for adulthood.
If you don't want kids,
I would
kids,
if you gradually work them into the treats that they'll like or the things that they'll like Knorr's, they make that powdered gravy, and so it's like Knorr's. You can get hollandaise sauce.
Or like beef bouillon or something.
Yeah, and each kid gets a different one, and like, which sauce did you get? I got Bernays, and they go home and they make it, and they're on their way to being adults, and I feel like I'm helping.
Now, I would just say, for listeners at home who hear this, go, hey, don't do that. That's
one's going
stupid.
to do it, Larry.
Because here's what's going to happen. That parent where'd you get that hollandaise sauce? Oh, from Mr. Weinhold's house. You may get that call, and you might as well just throw a razor blade in an apple or something.
So hollandaise is a razor blade to you.
So I'm just saying, look, if you don't want kids to come to your house, the best thing to do is turn off the porch light, turn off all the lights.
No,
so
I'm not going to do
completely dark.
No, I'm going to give them an experience like these mazes with the tasers. I'm going to give them an experience for the hardened kids. The kids are going to go like, yeah, we can go down to that other house, and we can go to old man Stroh's place and get some shitty candy from the 1920s. Or
because old man Stroh
Weinhold Manor and get a package of ramen and
condoms.
Condoms, right? Exactly.
Yeah, right. You're set. You're set for the party.
No one's giving out condoms. That's
how do you know?
Come on.
Maybe they're candy flavored.
They start young.
Oh, Sean.
Edible.
How about this?
Okay.
How about this? How about a candy apple or a caramel apple coated with Pop Rocks? See, that's still so they don't know what it is. Like, and they come in and it pops and it's exciting.
So
that's
you're
like
gonna go
the kid version of a taser.
You're going to get an apple. You're going to go buy that apple, spend the time to put a stick in it, put it in caramel, and then put it over the Pop Rocks. And then, hey, I'm going to put it in plastic. All right, kid. And, I mean, really, Matt? Really?
It's worth
it.
It's worth it. Just to see the smile on their faces.
No.
Well, I mean, I guess the best way to answer what is the worst thing you've ever gotten as a trick-or-treater?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like corn nuts.
Or mints.
Ooh,
you like corn nuts?
No, corn nuts isn't chocolate. It's like getting a little
love
box
Corn
of
Nuts.
raisins.
Corn Nuts as an adult I like, but
have
as a
some
kid.
raisins.
I'm with you on raisins.
Yeah, raisins.
I'm with you
yeah.
on raisins. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I
No
used to get
raisins.
like baggie, a little plastic baggie with like 15 pennies in it. Like,
That's
oh,
not bad.
really?
That's
Well, I mean, money's money.
for a
Yeah.
kid.
Then
That's great.
pennies were worth something back then.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't candy, That's what you
Yeah,
wanted.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You turned your nose
I
up at
remember the-
money.
Well, think of it, Matt. For all the work you do, you're a kid
personally.
and you put on a costume, and now you're walking around. You probably got your little brother with you that you got to, oh, come on.
Sure,
okay.
right? Yeah.
And you got to make sure your brother says the right little line, no trick or treat, and
Mhm.
you get that candy. You got to remember to say thank you. And the way you get as much candy is you got to go from house to house to house, and it takes work.
Right. It does take work, yes.
So
Yes,
I know
it does take work.
it's not like they gave James a dime and a nickel. They're giving him a bag of
Well,
pennies.
It
but-
also says something about the people who are giving it away that they just weren't prepared. They're like, oh shit, it's Halloween. What are we going to do?
Grab some
let's play
change.
yeah,
But at least
put
they
it
did
back.
something.
Yeah,
It's true.
true.
It's true. Give them
Did you
one
ever
for
get
that.
like a box of cereal or anything like that? Or
No.
I did get like some French fries wrapped in a napkin once.
Really?
Oh,
Did
that's
you
great.
actually eat them?
Oh,
No, I
I was
just
gonna say,
that
yeah.
was
wait,
the
Mike, are you
epitome of we weren't
serious?
ready. Yeah, I swear to God,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
French
That was the
fries
epitome
wrapped
of
in a
we weren't
napkin
ready.
here, kid.
Yeah, it was like an old Asian lady, and like I don't think she knew what the hell this holiday was. I just made some
That's
French
great.
fries that she
Just
wrapped in a napkin and put it in my bucket, and it was
That's
like, all right.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just gives you a whole roast duck. Just like, or what about you?
Oh,
So you
yeah.
like Kit Kats? Did I hear that correctly?
Kit Kats are great. Yeah.
Kit Kats.
Kats are
Okay.
awesome.
So in Japan, they have like the green tea Kit Kats. I wonder how those would go over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great. I had them. They're awesome. They're really
I
good.
love them, but I wonder like a kid would look at it and go, but I
Yeah.
wonder if they tried it, if they would like it. Like, I
Right,
think
right.
it's probably 50-50.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
green
Mike,
tea.
do you actually decorate your home for
Yeah.
Halloween?
Yeah.
Like on the outside or inside or both?
I mean, what I noticed, and this is again says a lot more about how I guess I just don't like the outside world. I noticed that I decorate like not outside my gate, but inside my gate. So it really
Right.
is only for me.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
I'm okay with that. I have a little
Right.
garden and I have, all my stuff. But I've been really on the fence about getting that 13-foot Jack Skellington. That's been the one.
I've seen that.
Oh, I saw a 20-foot plastic, just regular skeleton, like at Home Depot or something. And
Sure, of
it's
course,
giant. It's
exactly.
huge. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. And
But
I mean,
they've been getting fancier and starting to get licenses
Yeah.
now. So now they have one
Well-
of Jack Skellington that talks.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
that's true.
Well,
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the decorations have become way more elaborate now, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
God.
You can get
And expensive.
size killer clowns from outer
Yes.
space, several animatronic leather faces. I mean, it's great. It's
yeah, it's
awesome.
crazy.
Spirit Halloween, yeah. The
Yeah.
one that I want from Spirit this year is that Mars Attacks Martian.
Right.
Ooh,
sure,
is
yeah.
it like life size?
It's life size. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Bigger life
And
size.
then it also,
Yeah,
the ray gun spews out steam.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It's super cool.
It's like the stuff
It's
you would
pretty
see at
cool.
attractions or amusement parks. Now they're for sale to put in your yard. It's
Right,
pretty amazing.
exactly.
Well, they have, and I hope they continue this. They've started like a haunted mansion line, so I have the caretaker from the haunted
Really?
full size.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
not quite as
great.
good as the one on the ride, of course, but just to think that you
Yeah.
you actually take an animatronic from the haunted mansion and bring it home, like that's amazing. So
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
Yep.
with that Jack Skellington and stuff like that. It's just I have enough of a toy addiction, as you can see behind me, as is.
We get it.
Like it's like things are like $400 each. So,
Right.
it's kind of it becomes another on top of these things that are quite expensive already. It's like, oh yeah, I want to get into like $300 or $400 figures for my
Yeah.
outside. I mean, the good news is that you can only collect so many. How many giant?
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't
It's-
know. I mean, if I could afford it, I would buy them out
Right.
every
Yeah,
fucking year.
that's
like
true.
every one of
That's
those
true.
animatronic things I love.
Yeah.
it's true,
And it's great, like especially like the week before Halloween, to go and take a walk at night around your neighborhood. You can see all the all the decorations. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's in the cards for Halloween night as well. So.
But to do the outside though, I get it. Having to do the outside of your home, unless you're retired or independently wealthy, where you have someone
or
that
both
you hire to set all that stuff up. Because when I see lights on someone's roof, I just look at that and I don't even know who these people are. Like how do you, for me to get lights on the roof, that would be like 3-4 days. The first day would be just trying to decide whether I want to put lights on the roof. And then the next day would be looking for the ladder, and then the extension cord. And then I'll walk around the neighborhood. You see these people that it's done to perfection. Like,
oh yeah, no, they're serious about it.
Yeah, that is very impressive, and they must pay someone. I'm assuming, or everybody gets involved.
I think, or everybody gets involved. My thing, and the only reason I didn't kind of do more on the outside is I'm nervous, and I have reason to be. I have reason about fearful of things getting stolen. I like my stuff.
Sure.
Yeah,
especially nowadays.
I get disappointed with mankind, my fellow people. Because it's I got a car cover because I don't have a garage, and I'm tired of having to wash my car all the time because it gets dusty. That car cover lasted 3 days before somebody stole it, and I'm like, really?
Oh.
Wow.
So I put a $400 Jack Skellington in my driveway. If the $30 car cover couldn't make it for 3 days, the giant Jack Skellington is not. I don't think I feel good about putting it out there. So
Wow.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Yeah, you got to put something out there that whatever I put outside is like, if it gets stolen, well, that's all right, because I got it on sale at Ralph's, the day after Halloween.
I was going to say, going to like a spirit store a few days after Halloween, it's always a good time. Good bargain.
That is a good time.
I just found out the Spirit Halloween is not now a brand. They made a movie called Spirit Halloween.
Really?
Yeah, it was like kids trapped in a Spirit Halloween store, right?
You can find it on Shudder, and Christopher Lloyd is in it. And
wow,
have you seen it? Is it good? It's more like a family-friendly
I saw
horror film.
A little bit of it. It did not strike me as great, but I did not commit to the whole thing. I did.
I think it's more for younger audiences. But hey,
it's for those people who don't want to go through the maze and get zapped or taken.
I got to hand it to him though. Yeah, but I got to hand it to him for expanding the brand in a unique way. Yeah,
they've been doing a lot also just in their collectibles and stuff like that. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Like even just the Beetlejuice line alone, how much stuff they have this year, whether it be handbook, the pillows, or little puppets of the Maitlands. There's all sorts of stuff. There's a shrimp bowl, with the shrimp hand.
Oh, really? That's great.
So
that's cool.
It's cool that they've kind of doing that stuff. Yeah,
I love going in there. That's like my zen, to go into Spirit Halloween at its most crowded and just kind of
sure.
And then you go on November 1st or 2nd and you get deals.
That's right.
Whatever's left, because the place is gutted by then, but there's still
true. But there's still
stuff. Yeah. There's always something. Yeah.
What's everybody going as this year? I got to think, hopefully people are dressing up. You guys are hardcore Halloweeners. I got to think that there are costumes involved.
I'm going as the guy who sits at home watching horror films. That's my
You're going as Larry? Oh.
Yeah.
Are you giving out candy, Sean?
Yes, we'll be giving out candy. Yeah.
That's cool.
See, I'm typically now that my daughter is older, she likes to go out with her friends. So what I do is I'll be at home and I will give out candy, but my sister has invited me to go over to her place. And I think every time she goes out, 'cause she's a single mom, she goes out with her daughter, and then she does that thing where she leaves a bowl out in front, and it's really not
Does that
the best
still
thing.
work?
No. And
Yes,
so
it does.
I
do it.
I
Really?
said,
Mhm.
I'll stay and I'll give out candy, because there's something I love to do. I mean, I remember my costumes as a kid, and some of them were store bought, some of them were handmade, and I like it when I see kids come up with their costumes, and I love commenting on their costumes.
Sure, me too.
I love it. I really do. And you'd be surprised, as some of the kids get very creative. And my wife and I would take pictures of some of these kids because they looked so great. I remember the year after COVID, this one kid came as a one of the little bottles of gel, and he had a big thing. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
I thought you were going to say Fauci.
No. But I this brings me to a special moment because I really love Halloween so much. I've been trying to find some of the costumes that I had as a kid. And one of the earliest ones, I never told you guys this, but one of the first costumes, I was a tiger. And not
just
only
a generic tiger?
A generic tiger, not
Store-bought?
Tony the Tiger. No, and check this out. I not only found the little costume, but also the little mask. This is the mask that I had.
Is that Ben Cooper?
You know what, Sean? By all accounts, it could be a Ben Cooper. It's either a Ben Cooper or a Collegeville. It doesn't have any kind of documentation, but there is there are like two tigers, and I'll for listeners, I'll put a picture up on Facebook. But I was so thrilled to actually find this, and I was thinking about getting a little mannequin and putting my little mascot in a little costume. And then not only did I have a bucket, but this is really cool. My brothers had this, and I found this. It was a skull on a stick. and it rattles. It's a blow mold skull that you carried around with a little stick, and you had your bucket in the other hand. And this is the other thing I had. So
great radio.
I'm really well. I'll post it. We'll post pictures. But I'm reliving my Halloween.
That's cool.
show.
Yeah, it'd be cool to kind of try to trace all your costumes you did as a kid.
I did do some research when it came to the Ben Cooper costumes and the Collegeville or those type of store-bought costumes. And there was a bunch that I did not know existed. And I was amazed. One of them that I found, and they had a picture of it. Did you know that there was a John F. Kennedy costume, Ben Cooper costume?
Really?
No.
Wow.
And it was called Mr. President. And the mask is pretty good. Like,
wow.
And
that's interesting.
And was the back of the head blown off? Or no?
Come on, Mike.
It had to be said.
There's no mask.
It's
Halloween. Exactly.
Yeah. You have to add that. There's a little blood packet that you can put on.
I know,
This is for
too soon.
kids.
I'm sorry, Larry. Too soon. I realize.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. Ben Cooper goes, "Hey, here's an idea for kids."
What I do is I get like some red pixie stick and some Rice Krispies, and I just chew it up, and then I just put that in my hair.
Okay. I think it's safe to say no, Mike. There was no hole. It was strictly. It was like
Larry. I'm sorry.
It was like a regular president.
It's like a regular. Yeah, it's called Mr. President. But
Mr. President.
But one thing I'll say about the costume is that the costume that you got with it, you know how like most of them are, a picture of something on the actual costume, and we've all made jokes about that. But this costume came with like what looks like a little suit.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it was surprisingly sophisticated for that type of costume.
Right. They also put out Lee Harvey Oswald.
They did. Yes, they did.
Gosh.
With like a picture of him on the chest.
That was just the plastic suit with his face on it.
No, they did the whole line. 1 year I went as the grassy knoll.
Yeah. Sirhan one was killed.
Sirhan, yeah.
I think in light of that tragedy, that's probably why we never saw the Nixon mask for kids.
I bet you there were
lots of ones for adults.
There were lots of Nixon masks for adults.
That was
Well, that's like a whole subgenre of masks. Is that whatever's happening in politics, you're going to see rubber masks of all these politicians.
Sure.
Hillary Clinton, Trump,
And the Monica Lewinsky, do you remember those? There was a Monica Lewinsky rubber mask.
Vaguely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inevitable.
And there was a Hillary.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. No, as you said, like whatever was happening that year in politics. Yeah. And they're usually fairly good masks, if I remember correctly. I remember the Obama one was kind of funny. And
Yeah.
But Lewinsky
come with the dress, or did the dress come with? I mean, wait,
Oh,
I think you had to
Thanks,
supply
Mike,
your
for
own.
bringing us down another level. Thank you.
I tried.
No.
I tried.
It did come with a cigar, though.
Cigar. That
Okay, all right. So, look, Larry, I'm gonna class it up for you because I have a genuine costume question for you about your collection, because this is another costume that I found online and I'd never seen it, and I thought it was so unusual, but it seems like it might be the type of thing that you have. So there was an R2-D2 costume, and the mask is like just the top dome of R2.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
And it looks so weird and wrong. And then the costume, of course, is like a picture of R2-D2, and it says R2-D2 in Star Wars. But I thought that is such a misfire. And you have that?
No. First of all, I don't have that, and it's not a misfire because
why is it not a misfire?
If we could go back to the year of
go back.
1977 and 78, when
Okay.
the Halloween of that year, everyone loved those characters, C-3PO and R2-D2. And so if you said, Mom, I want to be R2-D2, maybe you're not really thinking. It's not like you're going to get in this garbage can thing. It's like this like paper thin costume with that plastic mask that is just.
But it looks terrible. It doesn't look like R2-D2.
No, it's true. The C-3PO one looks
that one
better.
makes more sense, actually.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm pretty sure it was a mask that was repurposed as something else. I mean, it looks like almost. So? I mean,
no, I don't believe so, Mike.
Like,
no, Mike.
I don't know. No, I'm looking at it. It looks like it doesn't look anything like R2-D2. You know, it looks like some other robot.
It's like
the nightmare version of R2-D2. You know,
but you know, here's something that's kind of funny though. It's like everyone wanted to be Darth Vader, and there were different variations of that Darth Vader mask. Don Post made a beautiful mask that was like the whole helmet, and I have that when it came out in 78. But they also had, there was a Ben Cooper one, which was the little plastic one, but they sprayed like white circles around the eyes, which didn't make sense to me. And also, when you got into the costume, it has a picture of Darth Vader instead of just having the breastplate.
Well,
like,
right.
Why say
thing.
Darth Vader? You got to know the mask.
Thing that they would do back then. It was a common thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I got the Yoda of that, you know, obviously for Empire, and it was the same thing. It says Yoda, you know.
Oh,
on
you
it.
were Yoda?
Right.
You were Yoda?
I had Yoda, yeah.
Did you run around doing the little voice? You were, did you do that? Did you go? Did you go treat or treat?
I know.
You did your best version of it.
Oh, good. That's nice. I know that I changed the plastic suit out with just a robe because it was just that was an easy.
There
enough
you
thing
go.
to
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember being enough of a self-respecting 7-year-old at the time to go like, I don't want the stupid plastic suit that says Yoda again.
Right, sure.
Nah.
We also had
Did you talk like Yoda?
I'm
Did
sure
you talk
I
like
did.
Yoda? Come on.
Did you use the Force like Yoda?
No, you know. Did you?
Why are you Mr. Why are you Mr. No? You are Dr. No. You really are. Anytime anyone has one scintilla of joy or fun, and it's like, no, the giant hammer.
I gotta think the Yoda.
He has the intelligence to go, I don't want to wear this plastic costume. I'm gonna wear the robe. So I've got that mask, I got the robe. You would think he would go the next step and he would go, I'm gonna do the voice.
Trick or treat. He let you down.
Or maybe
you know that, Mike?
It made him Jamaican. I don't know. There's a kid can go any number of ways, you know.
but how would Yoda even say trick or treat? He would talk backwards, right? So he'd
That's
say,
true.
Had it.
Like
treat or trick. You know, I
Yes.
think.
Or
That's what he would say.
Treat or trick you give me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trick, yes. Treats you.
Well, okay.
Treats you will give me. That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
That's good.
There's a costume that you guys have to look up. I've never seen anything like it, but so Ben Cooper made a Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. And listeners, you have to find this thing. It is the most bizarre costume. First of all, the mask for Mr. Fantastic, he's wearing goggles, so that's unnecessary. But then the weirdest part is that the costume starts off okay. Yes, it does say Mr. Fantastic on it, and the belt says Fantastic Four, but okay, whatever. But there is the big 4 in the middle. It's not a picture of Mr. Fantastic. But then as you go down the costume, there's like a series of these lines that are sort of like his little bikini pants, part of the costume.
Sure.
But then when you get to the legs, all of a sudden they have put in a painting of human legs that are super skinny. You know what I'm talking about? Are you looking at this?
Well, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
They're super skinny little legs that go into boots. And so I don't know. It's like 2 different people were working on the costume and they didn't share notes. Folks, look this thing up because it is the most bizarre. I've never seen a costume like this.
You think they were maybe trying to emulate some sort of stretching type thing?
Yeah, maybe.
That must have been
Maybe.
it. Yeah.
But it looks like it's sort of like a Brundlefly accident where he got
He's merged.
him and Sue got into the pod and then came out merged because these legs are kind of nice.
The weird lines on the stomach is also really strange too. It looks like the Joy Division album or something like that.
Right, yes, it does. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that I wonder is that, the person that signs off and goes, yep, that's what we're doing. Okay, why not?
Especially back then, they didn't seem to care as much about nailing it.
No.
Yeah, you're right. It's weird.
If I remember correctly, Matt mentioned that he had a mask as a kid that I wanted so badly. If people remember, and I think I've talked about this on another show, there was a Brady Bunch episode where the 3 boys are trying to scare the girls. They're having a slumber party. And the 3 boys each have these like half rubber masks. And you could find these in the pages of Famous Monsters. And Bobby had a creature mask. And I remember I looked for this mask forever. But the truth of the matter is because it was made out of a thin, really thin rubber, they never lasted.
No.
And so there are a few people who have made reproductions of it. And so I have one. And it's so great. It looks exactly like the one that Bobby wore. But I believe Matt had this as a kid.
I did, yeah.
Didn't you, Matt? And I think you have either film footage.
I have some
of this?
photos of it. Yeah, at Universal Studios. That's where I bought it.
I have got to see that.
I will put these up
pay
too.
good money to see that picture.
I will put these up. But I'm glad that you brought up the Brady Bunch because I also found, and I'm not sure if it's a Ben Cooper, but there was a Brady Bunch costume. And the costume is what it looks like is it's like your standard tunic, sleeveless. On the front of it, it has the Brady kids. And in the background, like it's a picture of them. And then the rest of the shirt, it looks like it's like a meteor storm. It's floating rocks or something. I don't know what it is, but
what?
But it's this picture of the Brady Bunch. And then it says above it, one of the Brady Bunch.
Really?
Yes.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Again,
I've never
look it up.
seen that, Matt.
No, you have to look it up. And then the mask is just a red mask.
Oh,
and
that is
like a Zorro, like a red Zorro.
Right.
Okay, that is so.
boy,
so you could be part of the Brady Bunch, but we don't really know who you are.
That's like having a
or
generic.
You're too embarrassed to go out in public and let's see your friends, wearing this Brady Bunch.
I guess that's like wearing a really generic superhero costume and just having it say one of the Justice League.
Sure.
Yeah.
You really nailed it with floating rocks. I mean, it looks like it was going to be like a Fantastic Four thing costume or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
they changed, right.
Brady
Yes.
Bunch got it. Yeah,
the thing is, though,
Brady Bunch is pretty great. That's pretty
the fact that these are so ridiculous now in hindsight is what makes them so memorable and special. Even the R2D2 one now, just because it's so non-screen accurate, that probably makes it a little bit more interesting and a little more attractive.
For sure.
Because years from now, generations will be talking about how screen accurate all the costumes were in this day and age, but it's not as fun and interesting.
No, you're right.
I'm seeing some really fun ones as I Google this. That comes other ones come up like the tattoo from Fantasy Island, Ben Cooper.
Oh wow!
Which is great. Yeah, I didn't even know that existed, but I want one really bad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Was there a Mr. Rourke? Were kids wanting to dress up as Ricardo
I
Montalban?
bet you there was.
There's Klinger from MASH.
Wait. What? How was that one? How was that costume?
Is that a dress though? Yeah.
No, not quite. I mean, I don't know.
Because there.
Oh,
okay.
no,
So it's Klinger.
standard.
Okay, it's Klinger in his regular green
Wow.
MASH outfit.
Okay.
Interesting.
Which
That's
is
interesting.
sort of like, what's the point of that?
Well, it's interesting because there was a toy. There was a
Laura
toy that
Ingalls.
was supposed to be made. Oh, look at that!
Oh wow.
Little House on the Prairie, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to collect those. You know,
There's a Village People one. There are two of them.
I'm sure.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
That's great. Yeah, that's
Harry
what
Villages. That's tattoo.
The little bow tie.
But there are two Village People. There was one of them is the one with the the kind of S&M dude. That was a kid's Halloween costume. Yeah, and then the other one was the Indian.
Right.
Look, we can remember when the Village People came out. I mean, who didn't
Oh my
love,
gosh, he looks like an action hero in that.
Dancing to YMCA or
I
in
did
the
not
Navy.
enjoy dancing to YMCA. I did not care for the Village People, and I still don't.
Really? Okay. I understand. Matt is Mr. Punk. James and Sean and Mike. I mean, didn't you guys? Hey, when the Village People came out, didn't you think they were so cool? And if I was given like a Village People mask,
I thought they were bizarre. They were like an oddity, and they were. I understood that they were popular, but did I go, wow, I love the Village People ever? No.
See, and it's funny. You guys say that, but it's like, anytime you go to a wedding and someone puts on YMCA, come on, don't you get into it and do the little.
Nope.
See, you guys are a bunch of squares, man.
No, I've never been to a wedding I've never been to a wedding that is square enough to be playing the YMCA. That's what it is.
Fun.
Let me
James, back me up here.
They were catchy tunes. As far as the Village People themselves, and
I'm not dissing the Village People. They were a huge phenomenon.
They were. I was too young, I think, to really understand the kids.
Because Larry,
there's nothing to understand. It was
anything that was popular, no matter what it was, whether it really sucked or not, you loved because it was popular.
Yeah, I like popular stuff.
A movie that wins
a regular
awards.
person, Sean.
Because
that's right.
I wonder how that would have
worked. Great movie.
I wonder if Larry had grown up in, say, Nazi Germany. I wonder how that would have went.
Okay, so this is
getting your Ben Cooper Goering costume.
So Mike, Mike, you've been you directed
dressing up as the Village People since I was a kid.
Going away.
It was the movie Can't Stop the Music that really changed my life and wanted me to make films. Not true.
Definitely destroyed the Village People's career, I think.
But I do remember, even as a kid, this was funny to me, and that movie must have come out when I was like 9 or something like that. But Baskin Robbins had a flavor to tie in with the movie that was called "Can't Stop the Nuts," which seemed
really?
Oh no!
Holy shit!
Oh no!
But I do remember that as a kid. So you're a punk kid? Is that correct? Is that the vibe I'm getting?
Yes.
The Ramones and that kind of thing. Yes.
Oh yeah.
No,
high school I went to shows every weekend, and it was an amazing time. But there was a time, and we've discussed this on the show before, where I tried to get into disco in junior high school because all the girls I liked were into disco.
Sure.
So I got 2 copies for my birthday of Saturday Night Fever, the soundtrack.
All right.
And I had a little party, and the girls came over, and there was dancing, and I just felt like such a phony. And they left, and I tried to play the record on my own, and I hated it so much that I gave the shrink wrapped one away, and I destroyed physically the one that was open.
I like this. That is punk, man. That is the spirit of punk.
Now, Mike, I loved that album.
Of course, you did.
I had a very special incident with that album. with a friend of mine's stepmom who was kind of young, but because I was tall, she wanted to show us how to dance. And because I was the taller of the group, she used me as the main one to show everyone how to do these dance moves.
Right.
And it was a very special moment in my life.
Oh, nice.
Because, we dance more than a woman.
Sure.
She's spinning.
Sure. As a little kid, I could see that.
No, well, but it's at that age when you were like 12 or 13.
No, sure. A lot of
and so when I hear that stuff, those tunes, it brings these special memories to my mind. So
and
Matt and I, we've had different experiences.
Yeah, videos about stepmoms are more popular than ever. But
let's not talk about Saturday Night Fever. Let's not talk about Saturday Night Fever. Since this is Halloween,
Well, wait a minute. I have to chime in on your story though, because I will say this, and you're gonna like this, Larry. That if instead of my little junior high school girlfriends that I was trying to get close to, if instead it was some older woman,
right?
I think I would have sucked it up, and held on to that album.
And sure. In fairness, so I was like 12 or 13, and she was 25.
Oh,
and
okay.
she looked.
That's a nice ratio.
And she looked beautiful. She was
perfectly natural.
It's weird because it was my friend's stepmom, and
that's even better.
And he had a.
I've seen that movie. Yeah.
Anyway, but look, that's for another time. But Mike, you made this film. Big ass spiders.
Yes.
That's a horror film. What kind of horror films would you like to watch at the Halloween season? Turner Classic Movies is doing this whole thing when they're showing a bunch of classic horror films, stuff that I haven't seen them have, and I thought that was really great. But is there something you'd like to watch? Do you have some favorites?
It's hard to let go of the stepmom, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to just let it go.
I can't. That's what I'm going. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going as for Halloween.
Come on, Mike. I don't want us to get stuck on it.
Anyway, sorry. I'm just gonna make like some recommendations of newer stuff that kind of just jumped out that I've kind of liked. I enjoyed on Hulu. Hulu, I think, has been killing it on a lot of stuff. But there's a movie Cobweb that I thought was actually kind of a fun little Halloweeny movie.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, it's not amazing necessarily, but it does. It is I don't know. I thought it felt like a nice, like, good for Halloween movie because there's all different types of horror. Not every horror movie is good for Halloween.
Right.
The Hills Have Eyes is not a good Halloween movie. Last House on the Left, not so much. But
no,
right.
But there is that kind of like spooky, creepy night. That's a great Halloween movie.
Yes.
Things of that nature. So Cobweb, I think, kind of fell into that for me this year.
Cool.
Trying to think what else. What are you guys watching? What would
I always
be on the list?
With Halloween for me, it's always atmosphere. Anything that has spooky atmosphere. And so, I have my favorites, my picks for Halloween that I always go back to. I mean, Horror Hotel is like walking into like a haunted house maze. It's just beautiful cinematography, and when you go into that town in Horror Hotel that's run by all the witches, and there's no you never see ground, it's all mist.
Yes, fog. Yeah, so cool.
I love stuff like that, and that and like Black Sunday, the Bava film, anything with those hard shadows, I love. And those are the kind of movies that enough time has passed that they're tame enough that you could watch them with people of all ages.
Yeah, but they're still atmospheric and they still are spooky and they still work really well as scary little movies. Yeah, William Castle films are great for that too.
Yeah,
anything William Castle horror is great. Actually, I just watched something recently that's a documentary, but it's really quite good. And Mike, you're in it, I believe. And that was a documentary on horror anthologies called Tales of the Uncanny.
Okay.
And it's documented all the different, by Severin put it out. And it's like, look at all the Amicus films, Dead of Night, Creepshow, Black Sabbath, Trilogy of Terror. And it's just they interviewed Joe Dante, Mick Garris, Roger Corman, and you're in there too.
Oh, great. Okay. I don't think I've seen it actually.
Yeah, but it's good. It's just a good overview of anthologies from like early days, Dead of Night, all the way up to like recent stuff, Creepshow and et cetera.
Anthologies are perfect.
Yeah, it's actually, it was put out by Severin a couple of years back, Severin Films, the Blu-ray company, and they shot it mostly during when the pandemic was happening. So a lot of it is Zoom interviews. But it's great though.
Because I mean, documentaries and anthologies are great because that kills two birds with one stone. Anthologies are fun, but I also like those kind of like collection, like Terror in the Aisles. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
Which is kind of just a walkthrough of a bunch of different horror films and clips, and would have
it's like a best of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that Tales of the Uncanny sounds like, that sounds like a best of.
Yeah, check it out.
And you can also, this is also kind of a thing that anyone can do, and you can add a personal touch to it, and that is you can create your own trailer reel.
Right, sure.
If you go on to archive.org, you can find trailers of pretty much anything. So just download them and just start building your trailer reel, because that's one of those things that you can put on, and I could watch that all night. Like I love trailers.
I've done that. I've done it with myself. I've taken all my DVDs of the different trailers and made a whole trailer reel, sci-fi trailers, horror trailers.
Great stuff too, Sean, by the way.
What's so fun is it tells kind of a brief story or like a trailer in like 2 minutes, and then you get another one and another one and another one. It's almost like reviewing all of those favorite films that you loved as a kid. And
it gets you excited about to watch them again.
Oh, yeah. I think we've talked about this. I have one of those where it's just a slew of just horror film after horror film trailer, and they're just so fun to watch. I love those, and it's funny because that's what I have in the background while I'm waiting for kids to come and to come up and go trick or treat. But at the end of the night, when I go out on the street and look both ways, there are no kids. I haven't had a kid in like 20 minutes. Then I throw on Night of the Living Dead, which is classic.
Sure, yeah. Or In Search of Darkness. All those documentaries are
those are really
God.
Yeah.
Oh
yes. Talk about marathons.
David Weiner's classics.
And Matt, is it like 4 hours?
I think it's 4 hours.
Some of them are 4 hours plus, right?
Yeah,
we gotta watch all three In Search of Darknesses in a row all night in Halloween.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to do. Actually,
it's funny to some listeners that they may say, "Oh man, that sounds like a long time." I have to tell you, I think we all went to one of these screenings that David had, and that 4 hours went by really fast to me.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, I love seeing all of the information about these films, the interviews, and it's all very quick. And it just takes you from one to the next one and the next one. I just love those.
And then it refreshes your memory a little bit.
Yeah.
So you go like, oh, I forgot about that movie. I want to see that again. I haven't seen that in years. Let's go back to it.
Yeah, totally.
I never heard of that one.
But Mike, we had mentioned anthologies, and you've made a really cool anthology, or was part of an anthology film. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, please.
There's more than one. There's appropriately for this month. There's Tales of Halloween, of course.
Yeah, right. Love it.
All built around Halloween, and then there is my latest one, Satanic Hispanics, which is about the myths and legends of Latin America from some of the at least some of my favorite indie Hispanic filmmakers that we put together that we thought like kind of would have a similar sensibility that is fun, that is not too preachy, but but still delivers good. So that was just out in theaters and will be coming to VOD November 14th. Sadly, not in time for Halloween, which is a little bit of a bummer. But
we'll keep the Halloween going into November.
It's perfect for Thanksgiving.
It's perfect for Thanksgiving. Exactly.
I would strongly suggest you check this out because it is great.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Stories,
really good.
And there's like this combination. What I like too is there's this combination thing that there's English and Spanish, and like if someone were living in LA or something like that, and and then there's some other really cool, creepy surprises that really threw me for a loop.
Yeah, and it's a nice juxtaposition of straight horror to something that's a little more lighthearted.
Right.
Yes.
And then you have this connecting piece that I would say bridges the gap between all of them. It's a
framing
nice
device.
Yeah, a nice framing device. Yeah,
that was my segment.
Yeah, you directed that.
That was great.
Loved it.
That was my part of the movie. Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, that's part of the fun of an anthology, kind of like we're talking about, is that there's something for everyone. And, there's something nice, it's like a mini film festival. And again, that's what I think, like the joy of like kind of watching it around Halloween and stuff. It's just a bunch of filmmakers telling you their spooky little stories, and some lean a little more towards funny, some are a little more, just straight horror. But I think there's something for everyone, and it is a nice, again, like we talk about the different kind of like candies that we get in Halloween. That's we love the mixed bag. We love the
right.
The mixed cake.
It's a trick though sometimes, to especially with anthologies, to make that flow work. And because sometimes you'll have a segment that's like doesn't, it's weaker than others, or it just, the order of them doesn't work. But Satanic Hispanics works really well, and it plays, you could, like I said, you have some really gruesome hardcore horror, but then some pretty broad comedy at times, but it works though. It works. The spirit of it really works. And you got a great cast. I mean, you got really interesting. Jonah Ray was really a surprise. Like he was really good, in his role. And and
Efren Ramirez is wonderful,
fantastic. And the design, your production design, like your quote monsters in it are really cool. Like
we all love practical creatures, so it was a big thing, and we never even discussed it. It was never a thing about like try to put like practical creatures in there. I always encourage people, like, if you can put a monster in, that would be great. I only have so much longer in this life, right? So if I can put as many monsters on film that I can, I feel that's a life well lived. So we certainly encourage that, but it's just that I think we just picked the right filmmakers that kind of knew that, like, yes, we want like real rubber creatures, we want real practical blood. There's really very little digital effects, and again, it wasn't something we set out to do. It just sort of like, you find like-minded filmmakers, and thankfully we did.
It's just your good instincts, that's what it is, because that it works better that way.
Yeah, totally. And as far as like, the tone of the film is you never know exactly what you're going to get, because part of it is that you're the appeal to getting these filmmakers, that you're letting them do whatever they want. And for me, it's like I usually do kind of splattery horror comedy, and it was actually kind of really nice to be the straight man for this one, and actually try to be the one that pulls it all together and let other people be funny. And then for Eduardo Sanchez, who did the Blair Witch Project and is known for more serious and found footage stuff, he did his kind of What We Do in the Shadows tribute with his vampire kind of thing, which is much better. So it gives everyone an opportunity to kind of try different things, because there's just less pressure. It's like you don't no one of us has to carry the entire film, so you're kind of more open to experimenting and trying different things and playing with things, and and glad everyone took the opportunity. So
the design of the trademark creature for your wraparound segment so inspired.
Yes.
My gosh, both designs, because there's kind of two.
Yes,
And the first one, like,
what killed me, and it's only a few days away. I will have it here in the office.
Nice.
No.
That will be here. I want both, but but I have the mask and the outfit and everything. I just need another mannequin and space.
Right.
We'll be looking for an action figure of that too, Mike.
Yeah. Oh man.
I would love that. We're very lucky to I work with an amazing effects artist named Norman Cabrera, who actually is the one for us that coined the term Satanic Hispanics. And he's worked with Rick Baker. He made the Angel of Death for Guillermo del Toro and Hellboy 2. Just one of the best creature creators that there is. And we just have a good shorthand and really enjoy working with each other. And he's always does me the tremendous favor, because normally I wouldn't be able to afford him, but he likes the stuff that we make and the stuff that we do. So,
cool.
So kind of really, and the love and the detail really shows, and particularly on that sculpture and that design, because really it's just a guy in a mask, but it's so effective, and it's such a good job. He also, without any spoilers for those listening at home, he also sculpted the Hammer of Zanzibar, but we won't go into
Nice. Do you have that prop at home?
I do have that here, but it's upstairs.
Nice. Upstairs, eh? Okay.
I know, right? Yeah, totally.
That was hilarious. That was
every home should have one.
Yeah, I had it here mixed in with all my alien stuff because it was next to the alien head. I was like, what other giant phallic things do I have?
That's awesome. Yeah, but no, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
What was great was I've known Jonah for years, and it was really nice to see his acting chops. I thought he did a really great job.
Yeah, totally. Great, right? Yeah, no, I think Alejandro, who directed that segment, I just always felt that he had kind of a Bruce Campbell quality that it's like, I think
he does.
I think he could do something else and be used properly, and so it was neat to use him that way, and I think I think he did awesome, you know.
Yeah, he was terrific.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I hope we get to work with Jonah again.
Cool.
Well, Mike, is there anything that you're working on now that you can tell us about, or?
The thing that I need to finish, this isn't so much horror, but the movie buff in you will appreciate this. I'm doing a documentary on the actor Bruce Dern.
Really?
Yeah, you're pals.
Of his entire life, and working everyone from John Wayne to Quentin Tarantino to
oh my gosh, yeah.
Clint Eastwood. Oh my gosh.
Make sure you devote lots of screen time to the incredible two-headed transplant. That's all I have to say.
We talk about it. We absolutely talk about it. He talks about a particular time where he really needed some dough, and that came along, and it was like sandwiched in between, like I forget what it is, like Coming Home and something like these that sandwiched. But yes, we do talk about that.
That's awesome.
Plot, maybe.
So,
one of my favorite Bruce Dern movies is Support Your Local Sheriff.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is hilarious.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that, you remember him for, these kind of disturbed characters. And yet, he has this flair for comedy. And that's a delightful movie. And I've
surprisingly, we didn't talk too much about that one. We talked a little bit about it, but not too much.
Really?
Yeah. But again, he's made like 100 films, so
oh my god, yeah.
There's things you have to cover, like The Driver, like The Cowboys, like Silent Running, like Nebraska. Obviously his work with Tarantino and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Django, his time with Corman, his time with Hitchcock. There's so many things covered that. We tried to do our best to get everything in there. I have something like 50 hours of him talking. So
my god!
Oh wow! I can't wait for this.
That's cool. He's awesome. Well deserving of a documentary.
Oh my god! Yes, he is one of those actors who he has never given a bad performance.
Absolutely, yeah,
right.
And Black Sunday. I'm sure you guys talk about Black Sunday, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
totally.
I mean that is just a tour de force.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome in that.
So I met Bruce Dern at a convention, at one of those collectors conventions.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get an autograph.
Yeah.
And I walked up and I got my silent running shot of him, and he signed it. Yeah. And without any prompting, he started to just give me tidbits about the making of Silent Running. I didn't ask him because I'm a little shy when it comes to meeting celebrities, because I want it to go well. Like I don't want anyone to.
Right.
I'm just praying that I'm not going to say something stupid, or that they're going to be mean.
Do this now for us. It'll only take a second. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Something Larry would do. Yeah.
But he was a delight. And he just out of nowhere, he's like, well, a lot of people think there were chimps inside the robots, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was people that were missing their legs, and like, oh, really? And he just kept going.
That's correct. That's the thing. And again, I don't mean this in any disrespect. I think I would say this to his face. The problem is not getting him to talk. The problem is getting him to stop talking.
Right. But it sounds like he still has the memory. He's still as sharp and has all the memories of everything.
Unbelievable. He's never had a drink or done any drugs in his life. His memory is unbelievable, and he's got the craziest stories of like, so I was having lunch with Robert Oppenheimer, and
wow.
Just these crazy stories. So yes, I'm not surprised he told you a little bit about Silent Running. I'm surprised he got away from the table, to be honest. I love him. I love him to death. I've never been able to get out. I take him to IHOP every month.
Really?
Yeah, he loves IHOP, and so do I.
awesome.
up every month. I've never been able to get out of there in under 3.5 hours. It's usually around 4 hours, and that's with me having to cut them off. I gotta go.
Hey, Mike.
But it was. I made the documentary. It was just these stories were so amazing, and he's just such a fountain of it. And I'm like, God, this needs to be recorded. So that's how.
That's awesome.
Speaking of which, if he ever wants to talk for a long time and
I was just going to say,
really.
Send him our way.
That can be arranged.
Oh my God, I'd love to have him on.
Yeah,
the longest episode of Monster Party ever.
We're ready. I'm ready for a 6 hour. Let's do it.
Yeah,
right. Anyway, so that could be arranged. So
that's awesome.
Nice.
So that's the next thing I'm working on, and then we'll see. There's other movie stuff potentially happening, but let's wrap up this strike and let's hopefully get
right. Yeah.
But we'll see. But those are the two kind of main things that I'm working on at the moment. So, and then of course Beavis and Butthead season 3, which I work on. So.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for being with us tonight for our Halloween episode. It was such a joy to have you.
It was a true hootenanny.
Yeah, absolutely. It really was. It really was.
Learned some things. We learned about costumes.
And for listeners, again, you have to check out Satanic Hispanics when it comes out on November 14th.
Yeah.
It's just terrific. Mike did an amazing job, and
a
very talented group of directors and artists and stuff. Really wonderful.
Well, a pleasure as always, guys. We'll do it again sometime soon. Maybe when Bruce documentary's done, or who knows, But always fun, always an adventure. With you.
You have tremendous patience.
I love it. I tell you, it's that feeling that like the 17th door. It's that feeling that the show just might go wrong at any second.
Well, what do you
part of the last one?
Well, what do you guys say we raise our glasses and toast to Mike Mendez and Halloween Hootenanny?
It's a Hootenanny.
Time for a listener shout out.
Shout out.
Scary, spooky shout out.
Tricker shout out.
Matt, take it away.
Okay. And go. This is what's happening. I received in the mail a package that had 4 LPs in it. And these LPs were from our longtime fan, friend, musician, Brian Jennings.
All right, Jenny.
You might remember Brian Jennings from the punk band The Frenzy of Tongs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, he sent us all a copy of this great compilation from No Romance Records, and it's called Bullshit 2023. A No Romance Records compilation.
Love it.
Nice.
So we each get one, right?
He sent 4 copies, so we each get one.
Okay.
And it's vinyl. We can play it on our record. You can get out your little record player, Larry.
I do. I have a record player. I'm going to listen to it right when I get. Thank you for thinking of me.
Yes.
Or us.
And it's an amazing compilation of all these different bands doing various songs. On side A, track 9, is a song by The Frenzy of Tongs called We'll Have a Monster Party.
Oh,
Remember?
Oh my gosh.
We were honored to be part of the recording of this song.
That's right.
There's a little chorus in the song where we all sing, I guess we're singing.
Yeah, yelling.
You could call it that.
Yeah.
But we
are on this record.
Yes,
we're multimedia. Yeah. We're multimedia.
We're singing Monster Party. We're on a punk song. And so, I mean, I just couldn't be happier. And I can't wait. I have not listened to the entire album, but I love the song. And I just want to say thank you, Brian, because
this is awesome.
Such a nice surprise and a treat. And the fact that we all get one, we don't all have to crowd around one record player and then, borrow the record and pass it. And then they get scratched. And so we all have a copy. And I'm sure these other bands are great, but you know what's going to happen. We're just going to keep listening to, we'll have a monster party again and again and again.
That's right.
And Matt, aren't you glad it's punk and not disco?
I am.
But you know, maybe a disco thing could have a monster party.
I will not be part of that.
No,
I will not be part of you. I wish you luck with this venture, Larry, but I will be abstaining.
Well, maybe there's some disco
band
out there who goes, "Hey, I want to put those monster party guys in a disco song," you know.
You know, it's funny, but depending on
monster party, you know,
sure, it writes itself. But you know, depending on who, just like we were talking about with that story about the married friend that you were dancing with.
Yes.
Whatever that.
The mother-in-law.
The mother-in-law.
Stepmom.
The stepmom. Just like that, if someone like that approached me and like, man, I'd really like you to do a disco thing. Well, I might change my mind. Who knows?
True.
Of course, at our age now, an older woman would be probably pushing 75. But
but if it was Jenny Agutter, I'm all there.
I'm hot for 75. Yeah.
They say 75 is the new 69.
There you go.
This is a hootenanny.
It is.
Trick or treat.
Well, thank you again, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, really.
Brian. It's awesome.
And we want to give a special shout out to Film Masters.
Yeah, Film Masters.
Because right now you can get the Giant Gila Monster Blu-ray. It's available. It's paired with the Killer Shrews. And its films look amazing. It's scanned from 4K prints, newly restored. There's special features. It's incredible. And
there's special features, Sean?
Special features, including audio commentary by Monster Party.
A special feature.
That's right.
So you have to pick this up immediately for Halloween.
It's perfect for Halloween.
Terrifying films. You will not be able to sleep. But once you hear the mushroom song.
They're great for Halloween though. They're nice, safe little, vintage horror films for the whole family, really, right?
Yeah. And look, doing the commentary, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Lots of fun.
There's so much research that we packed into that thing.
Yes.
Everyone did a great job, and once you watch the movie, then you go back and watch it, listening to our commentary. Just as much fun.
So yes, a big thanks to Phil and Crystal at Film Masters, and you never know, there may be some more audio commentaries coming up.
You think so, eh?
Oh, you just never know.
And it doesn't have to be Halloween to be dressed up in Monster Party attire. You can wear that all year round. We have the Monster Party T-shirts. We have the Monster Party legendary cap. We have the PPE mask.
Which, by the way, you could put holes in and wear as a Halloween mask and pretend you're one of the Brady Bunch.
Multi-purpose.
Kids, you could go as Larry Strothe from Monster Party for Halloween with a little picture of Larry on your shirts. Come on.
I like this. I like it.
Give me going up. No, give me a treat.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And a little light up bulb that signifies his rage. At nothing.
Let's face it. If the Monster Party co-hosts here were all made into a Ben Cooper costume, come on, mine would probably sell more than the.
Really? We'll see about
that. Well, maybe that's a good thing.
And of course, talking about Monster Party merch, we can't leave out the shot glass, the beautiful little Monster Party shot glass. So you can toast our guests along with us at the end of every episode.
That's right.
And if you don't want to eat a lot of candy for Halloween, you could use it as like a little Halloween candy bag. And so go to house from house and just get like chiclets from each person.
These candy shots.
Yeah.
A little piece of Pez.
There you go.
Yeah, a little Pez holder.
So where can you find all this wonderful merch? Well, it's on our eBay store, which is called Monster Party Store. If you go on eBay and type in Monster Party Podcast, voila, the wonderful merch will appear. And if you happen to be a Patreon member and order Monster Party merch from eBay, we will throw in free surprise goodies, courtesy of Jason Lindsay and Biff Bang Pow Toys and Ted Haynes, creature creator extraordinaire.
Wow.
Right.
They're like the trick and the treat.
Indeed. So yeah, I keep hearing about this Patreon, and I don't know. I get I must be getting older. I don't know what it is, but every 2 weeks I seem to forget what the hell it is. So Matt, what is this Patreon all about?
Well, okay, let me put it this way. You know how on Halloween there's this tradition of throwing eggs at houses and they splat and it's a Halloween prank. Well, imagine if each of those eggs was filled with joy. You'd want to be hit by them, right?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is exactly what Patreon is. It is this platform that if you join, you will have access to bonus Monster Party material. And we're talking bonus audio episodes, our shows like Monster Party Masterpieces and Larry's Toy Time and Sean's Toy Time and James's Toy Time and our pets' toy times, and that's going to be a good one. And we also have these story collections that are put together by my stepfather-in-law, John Bordeaux, of vintage horror and science fiction. We have our video diaries of Japan that always please. And so that's a lot of stuff. That is a giant collection, a treasure chest of bonus material, and we just keep adding to it. So when you join, there's nothing that expires. You will have access to everything that we've ever put up, and that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I hate it when they take stuff down. Like,
no, that's bullshit.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds wonderful. It sounds like a wealth of content, but I don't know. Times are tough right now. Halloween candy's up like 15%. More expensive. Everybody's buying the fun size, which is bullshit. And personally, I'm also saving my pennies to get a replica of the Hammer of Zanzibar.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if I can afford this.
Well, okay, James, imagine yourself as a wee youngster in your little, I don't know what costume you wore around this time. Something from The Conversation. Didn't you go like as Gene Hackman from The Conversation? There was a Ben Cooper costume, I remember.
Yeah.
And so there you are, and you're going through the neighborhood. You're going from house to house, getting 13 cents per house. Well, by the end of 3 blocks, you'd have enough to join the Monster Party Patreon account because it is only $5 a month.
What?
Wow. Yes. That's impressive. You can't get a long expired package of orange cream Oreos for that price.
Wow. You said that and all of a sudden I had to go to the bathroom.
Well, that is certainly a bargain. So how does one sign up for this wonderful bonanza?
So all you have to do is you go to patreon.com, you go to Monster Party, you click on the join button, and next thing you know, you're going to be bobbing for excitement.
And of course, as always, let's remind our listeners that we are on social media. We are on Facebook at Monster Party TV, YouTube, also Monster Party TV, Instagram, Monster Party HQ, and X, which was formerly known as Twitter, is also Monster Party HQ. And wherever you're listening to us, if you take a moment and write us your thoughts, write us a review, share your feelings, we would definitely appreciate hearing from you, and we will read it on the air.
We will not only read your review on the air, but if we really like it, we will come to your house and tase you.
And someone
have your own Halloween. Have your own Halloween. We should also just say Happy Halloween, everybody at the end. Monster Partiers,
Now, if Richard Nixon comes trick or treating at your door, tell him JFK was here and he took all the Smarties.
Yeah, you should say that, and then we all say Happy Halloween, Monster Partiers. Yeah,
nice. Okay,
So keep America strong.
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Strothe.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
And have your own Halloween hootenanny.
And if Richard Nixon comes trick-or-treating at your door, just tell him JFK was already here and took all the Smarties.
Happy Halloween, monster partiers.
I love Smarties.
Wow.
Mike Mendez.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Beautiful.
There's a
Hi.
lot of action figures happening today. I see. There's a little creature from the Black Lagoon Tiki Party happening back there.
Yeah, that's our monster party.
Oh, okay, great. All right, fantastic.
Because God knows I don't have actually anything important to do.
Right.
So I thought I'd
Gotta make
throw a
little-
tiki party for my action figures.
I completely get it. So I'm no one to talk. So I totally get it. So I like big bugs, and I cannot lie.
You know, it's funny, Mike. I was planning to. I was thinking about doing another rap. You know, because it's been a while since we've had you on the show. And I was thinking I got to do something, but time just got away from me. It took me a while to come up with that big bug rap. And I had to practice it.
I like Hispanic satanic.
Yeah, exactly. You'll probably get canceled. It's not
going to work.
No. I was working on. There were a couple I was working on.
Yeah. He called me late at night and he said, "I need a rhyme for taco stand."
Exactly. It's good with I like big bugs. I cannot lie. I forget the actor who played the fly.
David
Hedison.
Hey, Larry.
Played the fly.
Larry, that's one of my favorite rhymes of all time. You know that, right?
What's that?
I like big bugs and I cannot lie. David Hedison played the fly.
Oh,
I love that.
I was going to do this thing.
You're welcome.
Do you guys remember the Frito Bandito? Do you remember?
Yes, we do. Hey, Mike.
I actually don't remember the Frito Bandito, but
no, he's a little young for that.
Okay. Well, it's
we have to start with the Taco Bell Chihuahua
I love the Taco Bell Chihuahua.
Okay, you know what? I just can't believe that. Like 5 minutes into this, it's the Frito Bandito and the Taco Bell. How can I relate to you, Mike?
Wait, I have a few of the little Chihuahuas.
That's fantastic.
And it
they're adorable.
And it goes here.
Absolutely. Didn't Dick Tracy have also like a little Latino sidekick that also from that era? Like Dick Tracy had like a little guy. That this his name Holy Frijoli.
Hey,
what he would say. That was that catchphrase.
Baba Louie.
It was a different time.
Oh, absolutely.
Look, Mike, it was a different time, and hey, aren't we
more
glad that
time,
there was that there was representation? No.
What? I have some books you need to read.
I mean, again, look, it was different back then. This is the era of Freebie and the Bean, where I forgot Alan Arkin was a Mexican, so it was
Mickey Rooney.
It's like saying, Mickey Rooney, right? There was Asian representation and Breakfast at Tiffany's. It was great.
Yeah. I'm not saying that was cool. No. I'm just saying that it was
accurate.
No. But who doesn't like Fritos?
I'm trying to remember.
That's true.
I got to remember Dick Tracy's Latino stuff.
Joe Jitsu? Is that what it was?
Well, that was the Asian one. He had the Asian one that was Joe Jitsu. It was all very politically correct.
Look, Mike, Taco Bell. Hey, I'm a fan. In fact, I remember hitting it up.
Oh my God.
There was a play.
I got to get Shawn in on this.
No. I was a playdate I was working with, and I was trying to we'd find out some more information about her, to film and stuff. And we found this we both we talked about how much we love the 5-layer beefy burrito. And the two of us were just going on and on and on about the beefy burrito.
Sean, I gotta catch you up. It's been 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes, and we've already brought up the Frito Bandito, the Taco Bell Chihuahua, and now he's listing the menu for Mike as just
Nice. Wow, wait, I'm just impressed by Mike's lit up
thank you.
shell.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's spend 20 minutes on talking about Mike's background. Go ahead.
I was forgetting Go Gomez, which that's Dick Tracy's sidekick.
All the incredibly racist stereotypes of the Dick Tracy cartoon, like
that's what I'm saying.
JoJo. What's the one?
Yeah, Jojitsu.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was the Hanna-Barbera cowboy guy, and didn't he have a Hispanic
Babalu.
Quick Draw McDraw?
That was Babalu. Quick Draw
That was
McDraw.
Babalu, yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And do you remember for our Native American friends out there, do you remember the Go-Go Gophers?
Oh yeah, Go
I do.
Gophers. Yep.
And so the Go-Go Gophers, they were Indian gophers. They were Native American gophers. And one of them spoke like me, Bigum, like all the kind of stereotype Native American talk. And then there was another one who just spoke gibberish. Went,
that's right.
And it was hilarious.
Wasn't that part of the part of the Underdog cartoon, I think?
I think so.
But if I can remind you, there was like the Union soldier guys who, as a kid watching it, I didn't like them. And I always rooted for the Go-Go Gophers.
What's the one with the cat going after the mouse? I'll make mincemeat out of that mouse.
Oh, that's Klondike Cat.
Yeah, savoir-faire is everywhere.
Savoir-faire is everywhere. This is a little probably before your time, Mike.
No, Mike. I try to remember that there was also I'm trying to remember there
Speedy
was some,
Gonzalez. Speedy Gonzalez.
Well, of course,
right?
Speedy Gonzalez, but. There in the late 60s, early 70s, there was some sort of sour punch or something like that had Chinese cherry.
Oh yes.
Yeah. The funny face. They're funny face.
Like Kool-Aid?
Kool-Aid funny face.
Kool-Aid kind of thing?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think my wife and I think we have a couple of those mugs.
Yeah. I remember those.
Those are good ones too.
Hey.
I gotta look that up. Sorry. Anyway, sorry. Yes, good times. Good start.
Look. I'm not saying that's cool.
The Mexican
now.
pizza.
Isn't that bizarre? The Mexican pizza?
Is it?
No, not really.
That's the whole subject for a podcast.
Wow. We're going deep.
No, we're not going to spend this whole time on Mexican pizza.
Well, thank you.
We're not.
Larry. Mike, I'd like to apologize for.
I thought this was like Halloween.
Past 20 minutes.
Halloween.
Funny face drink mix is what I was thinking.
Yes,
funny face. Funny face. There we go.
Chinese cherry. Good times.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what?
Remember when we all got along?
Hey, we've learned as a country.
Have we?
Look, hey,
what is happening here?
What planet are you from?
Well, Sean, I'm just saying we're not perfect, but we're moving forward. But we're
towards the end of the world. Good night, everybody.
No,
I think my favorite part is I honestly don't know if the show has started yet.
I do want to let you know this, Mike. The show, in a way, has started because I always record some of this to put at the end as a little bonus. You're all right with this, right?
Sure. It's all good. Yes.
All right, good.
Well, don't make him feel bad. I mean, don't force him into a corner.
How did I make him feel bad,
Mike? If you don't feel comfortable.
No,
just tell Matt now.
Did you feel like you? Did you feel like I was pressuring him just now?
Well, you have a way about you. You have a way about you.
Yeah, Matt. You make people feel uncomfortable. Let's face it.
Well, I think I make only one person uncomfortable.
Why are you putting words in my mouth?
It's always an adventure.
No. I think instead of saying you're okay with that, you would say,
right,
Mike, how would
are you writing my copy now? What the fuck is happening?
I'm all good with it.
You are responsible for your fucking words, Larry.
Halloween hysteria.
Halloween hootenanny.
Good Lord.
Is it hooteny? Is it
hootenanny? Hootenanny.
John, are you sure?
Hootanny, right?
Hootenanny.
Yeah.
It's like a
Larry's writing it down.
That was also the name of I think the name of a music variety show in the 60s too.
Yeah.
A dance show.
There was a couple movies with Hootenanny in it.
Yeah. And I think a Rob Zombie Halloween music CD called Halloween Hootenanny. There you go.
So it's not me.
Speaking of which, Mike, I saw some of your pictures about that 3-day festival you went to, and I am so jealous that you were like touching distance from Metallica. It was incredible.
They're probably like the closest band I've ever seen play. I don't even like Friends bands. I don't think I've ever been as close as I was.
Wow. How'd you work that? How did that happen?
It was a lot of just luck and karma. I swear to God, I had I was free. So let me as great as it was. I mean, I shouldn't say free because you still had to get an Airbnb. You still had to, it's a commitment. You had to go out to the desert. It's 3 hours away. It's a whole weekend away. But the tickets were free because I work on Beavis and Butthead, and they had hired Beavis and Butthead to be kind of the mascots for the commercial for it. So I cut the commercial for it. And the concert sounded amazing. So I was like, hey, can we get tickets to this? And so I got tickets to the pit for that. And then on another just weird happenstance, I'd also edited a music video for the son of Rob Trujillo from Metallica, who's the bassist.
Cool.
So I did that family a favor. And so it got returned to me, in the fact of there's a thing called the Snake Pit, which is a pit inside the stage.
Right.
So they're all around you, and also like great parking, which is actually worth its weight in gold because the like 3 miles away or something like that. It's this massive walk to park to go there. So to get the free rock star parking, literally. It was great. It was like what a great weekend to see some of the best bands ever. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
How was the fact that AC/DC still going? How are they?
Yeah, I mean they're old as time. They look like they were going to fall apart, but they were great. They rocked it. They brought it.
What was Angus like? Did he like hop around and then there was a chair, or like what was?
No, he would do the hopping around. I mean, he literally looked like a leg was going to fall off at any point, but like he would do that. Like he would, and he's not that old. He's 68, but he looks like he's 89.
Yeah, he's partied a bit.
Right. And he's not even a drug drinking guy. Which
I don't know. He certainly looked. The name Angus Young did not seem appropriate. Let's put it that way. Anyway, but yeah, no. But he still brought it. It was probably the loudest show I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure I have hearing damage because of it. We were literally next to cannons, and it was like, oh yeah, it's cannons now.
Yeah.
But
I'm so jealous.
It was great. That was really
and
fantastic.
Iron Maiden and like all these bands. My God.
Yeah, Judas Priest. Yeah, it was crazy. I'm not the biggest metalhead necessarily, but it was just such a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity that I was like, I miss this.
I'll bet you like metal a little bit more now, right? After seeing them live.
Well, I mean, certainly AC/DC. I mean, everybody loves AC/DC. They're so iconic, but really, I definitely had a whole new appreciation for that.
For sure.
So.
All right. Well, Larry, any other ethnic group you want to gentlemen, before we get into this? What are we doing?
I don't believe I was poking fun at any.
Of course not. Of course not. No.
Absolutely.
No, we're just kidding.
No,
but the Nacho Bel Grande is cultural. The chalupa was something that my mother made the best chalupas when I was a boy.
Really?
So that's a real thing.
No, I'm fucking with you.
I was gonna say,
now I fell for it.
So our topic tonight, I'm
Chalupes.